$2,383. That is the exact amount generated in just 16 days using nothing but simple text documents. The startup cost? Exactly $0. This isn't about complex funnels or high-ticket coaching. This is the ugly PDF method, a strategy that prioritizes speed of implementation over the vanity of design. In a world full of over-polished AI-generated junk, people are starving for raw, expert information. Today, I'm handing you the exact blueprint to turn your knowledge into a cash-flowing asset.
Why does ugly work? Because in 2026, high-gloss design often signals a lack of substance. When a document looks like it was typed up in a hurry by an expert, it feels like a secret memo. This psychological shift is massive. Your customers aren't looking for art. They are looking for a lifeline. They have a high-stress problem and they want the fastest path to the solution. By stripping away the design, you remove the friction of creation. You can go from an idea to a live product in under 4 hours. Speed is the ultimate competitive advantage in this economy.
The secret to the $2,383 result was targeting lifeline niches. These are high-stress, high-urgency problems where the customer is already in a state of needed-now desperation. Think about tax preparation, longevity protocols, or navigating specific legal hurdles. These aren't nice-to-have hobbies. These are must-solve problems that keep people awake at night. When you solve a lifeline problem, your design doesn't matter. If you're handing a drowning man a life vest, he doesn't care what color it is. He just wants to stay afloat.
To start this, you need exactly 2 tools, Google Docs for creation and Gumroad for distribution. Both are free to start, meaning your profit margin is effectively 100%. You aren't building a website, you aren't setting up complex hosting, you are creating a simple link that people can click to give you money in exchange for your expertise. This is the ultimate low-risk, high-reward entry point into the digital economy. No gatekeepers, no overhead, just you and your ability to solve a specific problem for a specific person.
In this blueprint, I'm going to show you the bundle-up strategy. This is the exact pricing math that doubled the conversion rates during that 16-day sprint. We aren't just selling one PDF. We are combining a core guide with a high-speed checklist to create an irresistible offer that feels like a steal at $12. But before we get to the math, we need to build the foundation. Let's dive into Module 2 and look at how to actually build these ugly assets from scratch.
Step 1 is identifying your lifeline. You need a niche where the cost of inaction is high. If they don't buy your PDF, what does it cost them in time, money, or stress? For the $2,383 case study, the niche was specific tax deductions for freelancers. It was timely, urgent, and solved a problem that literally cost people thousands of dollars if ignored. Don't overthink this. What is one thing you know how to do that others find stressful? That is your product. Write it down. That is your path to your first sale.
Now we create. Open a Google Doc. Use a 12-point sans serif font. Use bold headers. Use bullet points. Your goal is maximum readability, not aesthetic beauty. Structure your ugly PDF into 3 parts: the problem, the step-by-step solution, and the quick start checklist. This structure ensures the customer gets immediate value within the first 2 minutes. If you can explain it to a friend over coffee, you can write this PDF. Aim for 1,500 to 3,000 words, enough to be valuable, short enough to be consumed instantly.
Here is where the bundle-up pricing math comes in. Instead of selling a single guide for $10, we split the value. We offer the deep dive guide for $7. Then, on the checkout page, we offer a fast action checklist for an additional $5. This brings the total to $12. It sounds small, but the psychology is brilliant. Because the prices are so low, the friction of purchase is non-existent, but that $5 add-on increases your average order value by over 70%. That is how you hit $2,000 fast. Setting up your storefront on Gumroad takes 10 minutes. Upload your PDF, set your price, and create your upsell for the checklist. You are now officially open for business. Your Gumroad description should be just as ugly as your PDF. No marketing fluff, just here is what this is, here's the problem it solves, and here is why you need it now. Remember, the ugly aesthetic builds trust. It says, I spent my time on the information, not on a fancy landing page. In 2026, that is a massive conversion trigger.
Now, traffic. You don't need a following. You need to go where the stress is. Find the forums, the subreddits, and the social threads where people are complaining about your lifeline problem. Don't spam. Answer questions. Provide a small piece of the solution for free, then say, I actually wrote a full checklist on this if you want the shortcut. This organic outreach is how you get your first 10 sales. Once you have those, the algorithm starts to kick in and the momentum builds itself. Module 3 is where we scale this to the moon.
Let's talk about the first 16 days. Day 1 to 4 is research and writing. Day 5 to 10 is setup and organic testing. Day 11 to 16 is where the sales start to compound. In the case study, the first 3 days saw 0 sales. Day 4 had 1. By day 16, the bundle was selling while the creator was asleep. This is the power of a digital asset. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's a work once, get paid forever system. Once the PDF is live, your only job is to keep pointing people toward the solution.
The biggest mistake people make? Over-designing. They spend 3 weeks on a logo and 0 hours on the content. If you find yourself in Canva for more than 10 minutes, you are failing. Another pitfall is choosing a low-stress niche. If people aren't losing sleep over the problem, they won't pay for the solution. Stick to the lifeline niches: money, health, and time. If your product isn't selling, don't change the design, change the problem you are solving. The market is never wrong. Your lifeline just might not be urgent enough.
To hit $5,000 a month, you don't need a new strategy. You just need more bundles. One bundle makes $2,000. 3 bundles make $6,000. It's simple math. Each bundle should target the different lifeline within the same niche. If you are in the freelance niche, you have a tax bundle, a client acquisition bundle, and a productivity bundle. This is how you build an ecosystem. Your customers buy one, see the value of the ugly format, and immediately come back to buy the rest. This is the path to a sustainable digital business.
Once you have a bundle that converts at over 5%, it's time to look at paid traffic, but only then. Most people burn money on ads before they have a proven offer. Because your startup cost was 0, every dollar you make now can be reinvested. You aren't playing with your rent money, you are playing with the house's money. This is where the ugly PDF method becomes a real empire. You can scale your reach to millions of people while keeping your operations lean, simple, and incredibly profitable.
The blueprint is in your hands. You know the niche, you know the format, and you know the bundle-up math. The only thing missing is the implementation. If you spend 2 hours tonight setting up your first Google Doc, you could have your first sale by this weekend. Don't overthink it. Don't design it. Just solve the problem. The ugly PDF method works because it's real, it's fast, and it's exactly what the market wants in 2026. Go build your lifeline. I'll see you at the first $2,000.